Hey guys, I just wanted to do more verifying trig identities just so we had more examples. So my recommendation is to pause after I finish each problem and copy it in your notebook. So the first step we always do is we want to write it so that it's always sine or cosine. So I need to convert this tangent into sine over cosine. And then I'll worry about the rest of this later. Let's simplify this fraction first. So I have a fraction over a fraction, which means I write this first one. And I'm going to flip and multiply the bottom. This was the top. It is now the bottom. And then I can cancel the sine by the sine. So I'm left with cosine of x. I'm going to do the same thing here. It is either cosine or sine. Those are my two choices. So this one would be cosine of x over sine x. Fraction over a fraction. Flip, multiply. This was the top. It is now the bottom. And then I have cosine and cosine that cancel each other out. So I have cosine x plus sine x, which is the same as sine plus cosine. So this would be true. First step is to convert everything into either sine or cosine. So cotangent means cosine goes on top. And then cosecant is the same as 1 over sine x. Okay. Because there's no squares or anything like that, there's no more converting. But I want to make these denominators be the same. So for it to be sine x times 1 plus cosine x, we would have to cross multiply. So this becomes cosine x times 1 plus cosine x plus sine x times sine x. And then we're going to make that still equal to 1 over sine x. So, distributing, okay, I have cosine x plus cosine squared x, and then sine x times sine x is sine squared of x, all over sine x times 1 plus cosine of x. Cosine squared and sine squared is the same as the number 1. And cosine plus 1 and 1 plus cosine are the same, so those cancel, and I'm left with 1 over sine x, which is what we wanted to find. So this is true. Okay, so this next one, this means write what you see twice. So I have 3 cosine x minus 4 sine x 2 times. I am going to FOIL, and I get 3 cosine squared minus 12 sine x times cosine x minus 12 sine x times cosine x minus plus 16 sine squared x. Combine my like terms. Okay, and then I would do the same thing for here, write it twice in FOIL, and when I did that, I got 16 cosine squared x plus 24 sine x times cosine x plus 9 sine squared. So this minus 24 and plus 24 would have canceled each other out. And I'm going to rewrite it so that the 9 cosine squared and the 9 sine squared, because they both have 9s, next to each other. And then the 16s together. So because these both have a 9, I can factor out a 9. And cosine squared plus sine squared is the same as the number 1. So now 9 times 1 is just 9. And then the same thing here. I can factor out a 16, and then cosine squared plus sine squared is just the number 1. And then 16 times 1 is just 16, and then 9 plus 16 is 25, which is what we were trying to find originally at equals to 25. So this one is also true.